Hi, going live on Facebook now. So you guys are ahead of me a little bit here. So let's see. Let's get the, oh my God, look at this hair. Hi, y'all. How's it going? Happy Wednesday. So I really hope this didn't mess too many people up. I did get some messages from you all wondering where I was on Tuesday. I even told my husband, oh my gosh, I should probably go on there for a minute. And since I've been doing it for so long, but the reason I took it off, I think I told you, was my new work schedule. So woo, it's a little crazy. So I'm hoping you all don't forget, we've been putting announcements out daily. Who's there? Hi, Janine. Hi, Fran. How are you? Good to see you guys. So I'm hoping that you all who have been riding this ride with me, my little team here, my little group that's been with me from the beginning, that you got all the messages that I changed from Thursday night to Wednesday night. And I hope it doesn't mess too many people up. I actually have friends who had trouble to go on Wednesday, actually on Thursday, because they have meetings and different things. So this might help them, but hey, they're not here yet. So maybe not. Maybe they're just lying. Maybe they just didn't want to go on the live on Thursday. Maybe they get enough of me in real life and in real time. So that's all right. I can accept it. I can accept it. So I'm glad whoever's here is here. Thank you for tuning in. Today's like a huge day for me to be on my new live here on Wednesday nights at 6 instead of Thursday. I did bow out on my Tuesday morning, but quite a few of you sent me messages. You missed it, which was really nice and sweet. So I might reintroduce on Tuesday, maybe not a set time. Hi, George, you made it. It's a party now that George is here. I even shouted you out, George, on my page and said, hey, George was confused because I didn't go live Tuesday and he was looking for me. So my new work schedule changed. So let me just tell you, because now I can announce it because it's been announced. So out here in California, there is a beautiful treatment center for women and children called New Directions for Women. And I have been running groups there for like 10 years, I think. I don't know, I lost track, but for a long time, I've always loved it. It's always been near and dear to my heart. But because I've had commitments at other places, I was never able to really come on in a full time capacity. So I am now. So I'm officially there. And I'm so happy and I'm so blessed to have this new adventure for women and children seeking recovery and treatment to get well, to see those babies and those mothers blossom. It's incredible to me as a mama. It is just pulls on my heartstrings. And I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity to be there. So look them up, New Directions for Women, and I'm their chief clinical officer. Ta-da! Hi, Nancy. Hi, George. Hi, Mike. How are you? Good. Thank you for coming back, you guys. I was afraid I was going to lose you all when I switched days. I don't want to lose you all. I have so much fun engaging with you, and we're really getting to know each other, I think. So it makes it much more fun and easier for me. So thank you. Thank you, Janine. So listen, like, this is crazy. I've had two big, like, blessings today. The first one was getting this job as the COO. And the second one was I was nominated for an award. I haven't been nominated for an award since I was in high school, honestly. So that was a long time ago, more than 30 years. So it's so great. I was so shocked. My heart is so full. Hi, Terry. So I was nominated for an honor award. I forget the name of my award that I was nominated for, but it's an honor. So it has to do with being a person in my field who has helped educate and provide prevention and treatment. And it's a beautiful thing. I think it's called the Hope Award. I hope I got that right. That's so embarrassing. But I just found out about it. So thank you all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the congrats, Nancy, Cecilia, and Mike and Terry. I'm so glad you're watching with me. Please like my page. You all helped me. I got like that day I said, help me get some likes on there to get it up to 12K, which I think I did. And I haven't checked since, but I think we might be over that. George says God has good news. It's long overdue, George. I had like a decade of just constant bad news. So it is long overdue. So I am so grateful. And there's my hubby, Fareed. Say hi. He's posting the Ask Gina information. Yes, although I am a licensed therapist, I'm playing one on TV right now. I am not offering my services in that way. I'm not acting as one. I'm acting as a coach, a guide, a spiritual counselor, support, and giving education, experience, strength, and hope, but not as a professional. What is this for? All I've heard so far is all about you. I'm sorry, Cindy, you're new to my page. I'm talking to my friends. Hi, Susan, that have been with me for like a year. These lives have been on Thursday nights, and I just switched it to Wednesday nights. So I wanted to spend some time with the regulars and kind of warming up to get them here. So I just said I am a professional therapist, and this page and this live is a topic. So every week, which will now be on Wednesday nights, I put out a topic on my page. I ask for your input, your feedback. I engage and answer questions and speak on that topic to give experience, strength, and hope and guidance. Some people like it, some people don't. When they don't, they just check off, and that's okay. But I've enjoyed having the relationship with the audience. As about 200 of you that have consistently stayed with me from the beginning, doing this together. Okay. So thank you for that. Hi, Renee. Hey, Sun Kai, how are you? So listen, the topic tonight is red flags, how to spot red flags in your relationships. Okay. Hi, Vicky. Thank you for coming and switching nights. I wanted you to know, and by the way, I hardly ever just talk about me. And if I do talk about me, it's usually to tell you about the crap that I've gone through, feelings that I've had, how I've worked through personal situations. I'm trying to teach and be a mirror for how therapists can be someone that's a real person, not just a person who sits behind the desk, takes notes, nods at you, and says, I'm so sorry for your feelings, but a real person who's gone through some shit and some stuff and can talk about that to you and tell you how to get through it and tell you how to get out of it and tell you that you deserve better. You deserve to be listened to. You deserve to be healed. You deserve to have a beautiful life. You deserve a great relationship. You deserve to be rewarded and treasured and regarded and all of those things. So let me say all that. And if you're still on here listening, great. And if not, great. Yes, this is my page, Cindy. It's called Ask Gina. Honor you too, Gina. You do wonderful things to help others. Thank you, Mike. Let's get into the topic. And I love the congratulations. Like my page, listen, follow, questions, send me Messenger. I answer you all on Messenger. The reason we're having this topic is because there is someone who sent me a message who is trying to get over a damaged relationship where the person that he was in relationship with was very, very damaged. And they were still active in their addiction. So there was a lot of lying and betrayal and hurt feelings. And what they did was just keep kind of blaming and dumping their pain on him. And he kept trying to fix it and heal it and bring that person into his family and love them with his full heart. Now, you all have heard me talk about codependency. So this is codependency as its finest, at its finest. A person who dedicates themselves fully to helping heal another person in a relationship that's toxic, that's negative, that's hurting, that's in pain, beyond what is healthy, not just because all of a sudden your partner or your spouse is going through a bad patch. Yes, you should support them and be there for him or her. This person has been in this funk their whole life. Maybe they're abused. Maybe they're coming from an alcoholic home. They are the alcoholic. They're struggling with emotional issues that you can't even resolve in any way, shape, or form. Hi, Jen Sexton. And you stay with them. That is what codependency is. It's sacrificing myself to save another person that I can't save. And then I'm rendered powerless and helpless. And then when I really need them, they step off. They don't show up. They're not there for me. I can never emotionally bring them my stuff because their stuff is so heavy. That's what codependency is. Why am I talking about that? Because tonight's topic is red flags, and I couldn't find a flag, but I have something really red. I just dropped the mic. Boom. Red flags in relationships, like my hair, like how to spot them, how to throw it up when you're in a relationship and you need to get out and you need to stop. Okay. So codependency is one of them. If you're in a relationship where you're giving everything and you feel like you've given your whole heart, I often hear this where they go, I gave him everything. And the person who I'm speaking to, I hope he jumps on the live at some point. He asked for this topic is he said, I gave her everything. And then all of a sudden she was like, I'm done, walked out and got into another relationship with someone else and broke his heart. Have you ever experienced that? Where you just said, I gave that person everything and then they sideswiped me. All of a sudden I wake up and they're gone. How did that happen? That is a red flag. Hi, cousin Tina. Somebody's saying, hi, cousin Tina. Nominate Gina for a TED Talk. Oh my God, that's Fareed. That's my husband. So thank you, honey. Anyways, if you've done that in relationship, that is codependency and that is toxic. And I want you to understand, why would you get into relationship with someone that is so damaged? So my friend here watched a video about a guy that talked about women who are damaged goods. And I told him I want to speak to that because if women are damaged goods, men are damaged goods equally, right? So our history and where we come from has a lot to do with how we behave in the world. And if you grew up feeling like you weren't important, you didn't matter, your family didn't have time for you, they didn't see you, love you, validate you, you were abused, you were ignored, you had workaholic parents, you had absent parents, you had parents that were so strict and so critical, you never heard the words, I love you. Any of those scenarios can cause a feeling inside of you of worthlessness, can cause you to feel less than. And when you feel those things, you go out into the world and you try to build a relationship with other people to fill that broken space in your heart, to bring somebody in to, they'll make me feel better about themselves. If they love me, then maybe I'm lovable and maybe I can accept that about myself. Okay. That's a red flag. If I need you to fix me and take care of me and feed my ego and validate me and raise me up from my brokenness, that's a red flag because that is work that I have to do for myself. So how many of you have been that person in relationship? I definitely in the past was the broken person who needed somebody outside of me to make me feel good about myself. So speak to that. Tell me about that and ask questions. I know the story. It's still happening. It's weird. I don't know what to do. I'll just listen for now. Thank you, Pauline. And by the way, if you write any comments, I'll always read them now or later and I'll comment on them. So if you don't want them read, to put them up there, because I do. That's what this is, so that we can engage with each other. Listen, in a relationship where you're still caught in that trap, where you're trying to get somebody to fix something broken in you, or the person in your life is broken and they want you to fix them, that's a red flag. That has to stop. That has to make you turn around and look the other way and decide if you want to stay or do you want to go. Okay. In a relationship where there's a red flag, that's a warning sign. Is this a non-negotiable? Do I want to be in this relationship always feeling like the hero, always feeling like I have to be the strong one? I have to have all the answers. I have to solve all the problems. I have to carry all the sadness for this person because they can't seem to get out of themselves and get the help that they need. Tell me about it. Tell me if you relate. Tell me if it's part of your story. Jen, I have been on both sides, and Mike too. Okay. So I think I've probably been on both sides. I'm very aware of the wounded bird side. I've definitely been on the other side. I've definitely rescued a wounded bird. I definitely have. So here's the thing. We do this to feel better about ourselves and to try to make ourselves have more esteem and be esteemed and valued. Okay. You can't get value from outside yourself. It's so nice. Like I said at the beginning of the live, I've just been honored with this great new job position and with this award that's coming. That's so nice. That doesn't change me on the inside and how I feel about myself. When you are broken, if you are broken and your partner is that damaged person, no matter how many awards they get, no matter how many accolades they get, and how many people tell them they're wonderful, it doesn't penetrate their broken heart. And that is so sad to witness. But you are in a trap if you're in a with a relationship with a person like that, because you will never be enough for them. You will never be enough to heal what's broken in them. And you're going to try, because your heart hurts from listening that someone you love is so broken and wounded. So you will stay and you'll believe that if I just love them, thank you, Vicky, if I just love them enough, they'll get better. This is a trap. This is a red flag. I dropped all kinds of things back there when I dropped it. Look, red chair, red thing, red square, red hair, red flag. It is a trap to think if you love someone enough, it will heal them. Now I'm going to say something in contradiction that love can heal all things. It can. However, that person has to be available and open to receive the love. If you're loving the heck out of someone with everything you have and their heart is still closed off and broken, they don't trust it, they think you're being manipulative, they believe you're going to betray them ultimately. My friend Michelle doesn't know that I switched nights on the live, so she just called in because I called her 10 minutes ago. Mish, I'm on live on Facebook, so I can't answer your call, but jump on here, okay? So what happens is, if you're the broken person, your greatest fear is that someone's going to leave me. I love you and you're going to leave me, so I don't ever trust you to stay, so I don't ever fully open my heart, and so you can love me all you want. My heart is closed off. I won't ever feel it. And in many ways, I will never acknowledge how far you have gone to show me that you love me. I will belittle every act of love. I will always tell you that it falls short in one way or another. I'll say, I know what you said, but it still hurt my feelings. Or you can get me 100 presents and gifts and massage my feet and talk to me, and I won't ever acknowledge it when I'm broken. So let me hear from you. Hey, Fran, hi to Jackie Casey, or maybe this is, I don't know, a tribute to Jackie Casey. Mike, so true, Gina, they should teach. Hi, Rosa Diaz. That's another cousin of mine. Say hi. My cousins like to jump on here. George, in Spanish, creo son miedos a fracasar el motivo por el que no me ha vuelto a casar. And Michelle is calling in again. So sorry, Mish. Please stop calling me, Fareed. Call Michelle. Tell her to stop calling me. Tell her I'm live. She doesn't know. Okay. Thank you all. So, yes, Mike, they should teach self-love, respect, and honor in school. I think so too. So a red flag is if you're being codependent, which I just described what codependency is in great lengths, right? The other red flag is that if you are the person giving the love and not receiving the love, it's only going one way. You're only getting that love and it's only one-sided. Okay. So let's look at your relationships. All right. What's another red flag in a relationship? A person who keeps telling you about their damaged relationships. They keep telling you about how broken not only they are, but everyone they've ever had relationship with is also broken. Okay, I do have a lot of cousins. All right, so think about people in your life who always come to you and tell you the horror stories of their past. How many broken relationships they've had, broken marriages they've had, betrayals, being cheated on. This is a pattern. This is a pattern of behavior, and it's a red flag. Okay, you got that one? Write them down because I'm going to forget. You all know that. Now, here's another red flag. All right. In relationship with a person when at the very beginning of the relationship and you barely know each other, they start telling you that they love you, like day 3, like third date. Okay. Now, if you've done it, there's no shame in your game. But what I'm going to say to you is this: it is impossible to fully know a person and feel the intensity and the expansiveness of love in 3 days, in 3 interactions. So, what happens is some people are addicted to the idea of love, and sometimes lust gets misinterpreted as love. An incredible attraction and pheromones often gets communicated as, oh, I love you, without knowing a person's spirit. So I often have told my clients, this is a huge red flag. Someone that barely knows you and tells you, I love you and I could spend the rest of my life with you. Okay. There have been, Mike's agreeing with me. You can agree or disagree. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts on it. Have you ever had that? My ex-husband did that, told me he loved me in 3 dates. I was so broken that it was so flattering that I hung on to that. But I knew in my heart, I didn't feel the same way. I was like, I don't even know you, but I know you're cute. I know that you seem to be a lot of fun and you're really into me. That's awesome. But I didn't know him. And that allure and that beautiful, wonderful feeling of love is so intoxicating that it drew me in. So, have you ever had a relationship where you wanted to be in love so badly and you wanted someone to love you that you jumped in full barrels, even though the red flags were going off? This guy had a ton of red flags that I ignored, a ton. His a little bit paranoid, very jealous, very controlling, questioning when I would speak to other people, questioning every move I made. And yet I fell for it because I kept falling for the intoxicating idea and the word of love that he kept feeding me like I was the most, magical thing on the planet. Vicky, yes, do not trust lust. Please, I did that. Don't confuse love with lust. Lust, what does it? George wants to know what lust means. Michael says yes before. Donna, Gina, how to deal with a person who is angry at you and has the mindset misery loves company. Oh my gosh, let's help Donna with that one. And Rose is agreeing with me. Okay. George, lust. Donna, misery loves company. George, lust means when you have sexual feelings towards someone. When you feel lustful, you feel a desire sexually and a sexual attraction towards someone. And that intoxicating feeling sometimes makes you think, oh, I'm in love. This is why people, they go on a date, they're kind of hot, attracted to each other. Oh, we're so hot. And then they sleep with each other and they start to build a relationship built on that one night. All of a sudden it's like, well, I slept with you, so now I have to justify that we have this great relationship, this long-term relationship. So you sign up to start dating a person that maybe when you wake up in the morning or a week later, you go, what the heck was I doing? This person is nothing like a person that I want to date, let alone be in relationship with. But now maybe you have guilt or shame, or maybe you just think, oh, I'm lonely. And lonely is always an excuse and a red flag for accepting relationships less than what you need and less than what you deserve. Okay. Loneliness is a huge red flag. So now you start building a relationship based on a sexual drive, not based on any knowledge of this person, their family, how your lives might intersect, your interests, how you're going to sustain a relationship besides or beyond a hot date, hot sex, and a couple of good, dinners or meals. Okay. So there's another red flag. Keep up with me. George has got it. Now, Donna, misery loves company. You guys jump in here. The person that you're in relationship that's miserable. Okay. I've suffered depression. I've talked about it a lot in my lives, on and off the majority of my life. The golden rule when I was at the worst point of my depression was my husband would leave. He wasn't leaving me, he would just leave. And we set up where it was like, if I'm miserable and I can't get out of it, then you have to go. Because I can't be miserable and sit here and watch you being miserable, watching me in my misery. I can't be miserable watching you watching me in my misery and you being miserable in it too. Okay. So you become miserable watching me, right? Whew, if you followed that, good for you. That was a lot. I lost my precious Starbucks green canister that I've had forever on these lives with you. So now it's the green Starbucks plastic cup. Okay. So you have to set boundaries around that. If you're the one not miserable, then you have to say, I love you, I care for you, but I can't fix this. You need to go get help. You need to go outside of this room, get off of that sofa and get help. And if you're not going to, when you're in this miserable space in your head, I've got to leave because it brings me down. You don't have to go down with a person that's drowning. You don't. You can respectfully set boundaries and separate from them, walk out, go get help for yourself and say, I need tools to figure I'm living with this person that's in a depression is like just losing their mind or just hates life, whatever it is. And I need some support. Go do that too. Or keep pushing your partner and saying, I don't want to live in this long term. And if you can't find a way to help yourself because you deserve that, to grow and heal from this misery, I'm not going to sit here with you in it. Not for long. The longer you tolerate it, the easier it is for them to sit in it. I hope that helped you, Donna, or that you heard it. Michael, before I learned to love and accept myself, I was always lonely. Yes, of course. Brilliant. You have to love and accept yourself first. You're always going to be alone with you. That will never change. You could be around tons of people and still feel lonely because it's not penetrating that place inside where you're intolerant with yourself. That is a red flag. Intolerance and impatience with yourself and not learning how to love yourself is a red flag for you in relationships. Michael saying, yes, take care of yourself. Nancy, yes, was really fast to say, I love you. I know that's a red flag. Lesson learned and live to tell about it. Thank you, Nancy, for sharing that. So a few of you more share your stories of, difficulties around this. Thanks, Donna. Difficulties around this topic. I'm glad it helped you. Struggles with red flags in relationships. Okay. Another red flag, when a person is very controlling, when a person tries to change everything about you. I think you're really pretty, but I think you'd look better as a blonde instead of a redhead. I really think your outfits are kind of funky. I would really prefer if you dressed this way. I don't like it when you go hang out with your friends, and I would prefer that you didn't. I don't like the way that you laugh when we're watching movies, and it annoys me. I didn't like how loud you were giggling at dinner with our friends, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. If you're in a relationship where someone is constantly telling you things they don't like about you, well, then they don't like you. Because if I'm constantly having to be told, Gina, people have come on here on my live. You all have seen it and you've seen me respond to it. They don't like my hand gestures. They don't like that I play with my hair. I'm ADD. I've got stuff going on. I'm not perfect, whatever. I'm Latin, so I speak with my hands, and I'm ADD. I move around a lot. I've self-diagnosed. I've never diagnosed myself, but it's obvious. So they don't like it, right? They start telling me, and I'm like, why are you watching this? Why are you on here? Why are you being present for this? This is a relationship. So it's the same thing. If you have that much critical to say about a person you're in relationship with, you don't like them, maybe you don't get them, maybe you don't understand them, maybe they're just not your people. Red flag. I'm going to get a flag for the next time. Red flag. Why are you hanging around people that are not your people? Why are you continuing to allow yourself to stay surrounded by people that don't lift you up but bring you down? And if that's your family, that's your friends, that's your coworkers, colleagues, neighbors, whatever it is, why are you allowing this in your life? You don't deserve that, to be surrounded by people that tear you down, bring you down, always critical, always have an answer, always have something negative to say about you, and are always there to tell you that's not good enough. That is a red flag in relationships. It's a huge one. When people say, you are not enough for me, then I'm not the person for you. You're with the wrong person. Don't make me small to make yourself big. Don't put me down to feel better about yourself. That is a red flag in relationship. A person who is so overly critical of you that by the time they're done with you, you feel like you don't even know yourself anymore. They accuse you. Maybe they're paranoid. They accuse you of cheating and you've never been a cheater. They accuse you of lying, of withholding information, of withholding love or withholding attention, and you don't believe any of those things about yourself. Hi, Dad. You caught me on one of those moments where I can't catch my breath. So jump on in here. If you're in a relationship with someone who's always accusing you of being something that you're not, who's paranoid in that way, who you look at them and you say, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not me. You did that to hurt me. You did that purposefully. I know you were trying. I know you wanted me to catch you. I know you're doing something behind my back, and it's coming from a paranoid place. It's not valid at all. You've never done anything to justify that. Get out of there, okay? You're on the train to Cuckoo Town. Get out of there. That is not yours to fix. That paranoia about betrayal and fear and needing to control you is something that broke in them a long time ago in another relationship, in many other relationships, okay? It broke in them when they were children, probably. Somebody betrayed them that far back, and they're making you pay for it. That is a red flag in a relationship, that it's not healthy, that it's not safe, that you need to get out of there, okay? You can communicate, you can try to fix it, you can ask for help, you can go to counseling. That's what these lives are all about. Let me see. Hi, Victoria. CEO operating like that seems strange to all his employees. Oh, yes. Yes, Victoria. Yes. I'm a COO. And if I spoke down to my staff and was demeaning and critical of them, I wouldn't expect any of them to stay. They should be all quitting. And when you have high turnover in a company, sometimes that's part of it, is the inability of the top level executives to have the manner of integrity, ethics, ability to manage and supervise and guide people without disrespecting them, without belittling them. You know why? They're acting out their childhood story, okay? Maybe they weren't in charge when they were a kid. They were being bullied by parents, friends, siblings, school. They were hurt, they were betrayed, and when they get in a position of power, everyone is going to pay for that. The boss that is the boss that feels like they have to yell at you and shame you in front of all of your other co-workers and colleagues and drags you in the office like a mother dragging you by the ear and saying shame on you, or a principal, or in my case one of the Catholic nuns when I was in kindergarten, you know, when they're doing that to you, that is abuse. That is traumatic. That is disrespectful at minimum, if you don't want to value it with all those other things that I said and let it be known what it is, okay? Is disrespect. And someone taking a position of power and being abusive like that is toxic, is sick, and doesn't deserve for you to stay and to support and to follow their direction and to respect them, because respect has to be given, all right, to be earned. It can't be demanded. So think of that, and thank you for bringing up a different scenario, Victoria, where it's an employee situation relationship, not just a loved one. Let me go back and read a couple of comments because I think I've missed quite a few and we're almost at time. I'll stay on a few minutes longer. Vicky, my husband doesn't like me to do outside activities with friends. I have been married with him for 25 years. God bless me. Vicky, I've been married with Fareed 25 years. Fareed is on here, as you all know. He's the one posting the Ask Gina for the links for you to follow. Okay. Fareed and I are very independent humans. We have been from the beginning. Fareed, can you post on here the poet Khalil Gibran, the poem that we read at our wedding that said, be near each other, but not too near each other. Be a support for each other like a tree, but don't cling to each other. Grow your own branches. I'm messing this up royally, so I apologize, Khalil, and anyone who's a Khalil Gibran fan. But that is the concept. And so in a marriage, the concept is if you're a root of a tree and I'm a root of a tree, we are both nourishing that tree and growing it to its ultimate potential. And if I grab onto your root and you're mine and we intertwine, then we are blocking the nourishment that feeds us both, that helps grow that tree, and we are stunting the growth of that tree, stunting the growth of your marriage. The more that you have independent outside interests, like this interest that I have while I'm talking to you and my husband is waiting downstairs to go have dinner with me, and this is an agreement, and we do this every week so that I can grow spiritually and I can be a person that brings more interesting things back to my husband. Same for him. He has to go to his yoga. If Fareed don't go to yoga, you don't want to talk to Fareed. And he goes and he does his mindfulness practices and he does his own entrepreneurial. He's always starting a new job or not a job, a new enterprise, because he's an entrepreneur. And he brings all that back to me. Okay. So you're adding to your relationship. You're not taking away. So it's a red flag if your partner wants to limit your outside interests and relationships. All right. Beth is saying, love to hear this, Gina, about the poem. Thank you. So you're so welcome, Vicky. Fareed, I hope you post it so that Vicky can read it to her husband. We read it as our vows. Beth, being scared and frozen is the biggest stumbling block you'll ever encounter. Your own withdrawal will keep you small, weak, less than, non-functional, and so much more. You will lose your entire identity. You will feel you don't matter. Get out, heal from the inside, take your life like it's the last day you will ever live. You want to live, don't you? I do. I own it. Good job, Beth. Thanks for cheerleading that for us. And that's so much the spirit of what I say and what I believe in and what I preach on these lives and in real life. As you know, if you don't get out, you will suffer the rest of your life without help. EMDR. So Beth knows I introduced EMDR to Beth and it was a game changer for her, right, Beth? And I always talk about EMDR on these lives. If you have anything in your life where you're stuck, you have wounds, you have a difficult history, you had a breakup, you've had a terrible heartache, you have a disease, you have a disorder, you're scared, you're facing these fears, EMDR, look that therapy up, is the best thing I have known, utilized personally, professionally for 32 years to treat all of my clients with trauma, addiction, and codependency, and anxiety and depression, and any other mental health illness for that matter. All right, Vicky, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Please send the poem, Fareed. And if he forgets Vicky, I'll send it on Messenger. Own you. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So I love that I was able to point out with you as we talked together, talked it through, a bunch of red flags. Go back and write them down so you don't forget them. The key to this is this. Don't stay stuck where you're not valued, respected, and regarded, where you're not growing, where you don't feel nurtured. It's a red flag if you're feeling stifled and choking in a relationship where you can't breathe, if you feel less than, if you don't feel free, if you don't feel loved, if you don't feel encouraged, then it's broken and the parts of it are broken. And then the red flag is it's time for you to answer the call to step away from the relationship, to heal it, to heal yourself, to get counseling, to get help, to talk to someone, to go talk to someone together and begin the process of healing, or really finalize that it's never going to change and you're unwilling to live like this anymore. I'm going to give you a final tip. If you're still listening, send me some thumbs up so I know that you're there. I know Beth's there. Okay. Final tip for the day in relationship. Ask yourself right now if you're in a relationship, boss, friend, children, loved one, lover, companion, partner, neighbor, spouse, cousin, whoever. Ask yourself, thank you for sending the thumbs up. You all went silent on me. That happens sometimes with my talking. People go silent. Think about this. In the relationships that any of those that you're in right now, if nothing changes, how long can you stay? How much longer can you stay if nothing changes? You don't need to tell me, but ask yourself. All through my career, I've asked this very simple question of my clients or patients, and it is amazing to get the response. You have an intuitive sense and a spiritual guide within yourself that lets you know what you're willing to tolerate and for how long. And when a relationship hits its expiration point, you always know and you feel it and sense it before you say it out loud. So go in and explore this. Tell me tonight if you want. You don't have to tell me, talk to a friend. But if you ask yourself, how much longer can I do this for? And you go a month, that's your key to start investing in what an exit plan might look like. If you say, I'm good the rest of my life, then okay. But I need to make some changes. Okay. Maybe it's 6 months. Maybe it's 3 months. But maybe there's the condition that we go together to counseling, or I go to counseling and I figure it out, and I'm going to bring that solution home. I'm going to let you know what I've learned, and then I'm going to expect you to do the same. Okay. So Vicky's saying that she tolerates so much, and I know what that means, y'all. So Farida's putting other things, how to respond to until you can remove yourself from the CEO abuses. Okay. First of all, send some love to Victoria and the situation it sounds like she's in. Send some love to Vicky. You don't have to be blood to be a sister. No, Beth is my sister. Hi, Mitchell. It's been a while. I'm so glad you're here. Good to see you here. It's been forever. Okay, so Victoria, let me answer this question for you and the CEO abuses. First of all, document everything. Document, document, document. Second of all, if it's to that point, you need to go talk to your HR department, your human resources department. If you're working in a company that doesn't have one, that's a red flag. That's a big red flag. There has to be a person there to represent you and your rights, because you have rights. Okay. You have the right to be treated with respect and not harassed at your own job. Okay. If you haven't been called in to do a performance review or a plan, if you haven't respectfully been told some things that you need to do different to improve in the job, you're just being yelled at and screamed at and abused and belittled about what you're not doing right. That is not effective management, and that is not a plan for quality improvement in any company. Nor is it in the HR department that, yeah, the boss can yell and scream at you until you get tired and you leave. So you notify someone and you start putting things on record. Now, I understand there's a fear. There's a fear of leaving. There's a financial fear. You don't want to just jump ship and not have a job. Here's the thing is, if you put it on record that you're having issues with a boss, and there's the boss and it's on record, and he fires you or attempts to fire you, you have on file, you have a legitimate case against that boss saying wrongful unemployment. Wrongfully, I was discharged because there was an issue between us. And as soon as I brought it to HR without ever being written up or acknowledged that there was a problem, I was let go. You have a beautiful case on your hands, okay? The second thing to do is to constantly remind the boss and also bring in a witness. So when the boss speaks up and say, I am here to do my job, I believe in doing my job well, and in the parameters and boundaries of my job, I respectfully ask that in that, none of that states that my boss can speak to me in the manner and tone that you were speaking to me. I'm going to ask that you speak to me in a respectful manner. And if you're not able to do that, I am going to leave, and we can have this discussion another time. And so if you've tried to set a boundary with your boss and he's still disrespecting you like that, and he's not hearing that boundary that you've set with him, then get out and walk out and say, you as the boss have right to give me direction and tell me what I need to improve. You don't have the right to yell, belittle, or be abusive to me. That I do know. And this cannot continue because it's going to create a problem. It's already creating an inability and an unsafe working environment for me. And this is something I'm going to have to explore with my HR. That does give you some power. The other thing to do is leave, to start looking for jobs, to go somewhere else and say, I don't want to go through all that hassle. This has been going on too long. I'm going to start searching. And the minute I have a job, I am putting in my notice and saying, I am out of here. This is ridiculous. This is unreasonable. I've done that. I've walked out of a job with an abusive boss. It was terrifying. I didn't have anything really financial resource in it. I was much younger. So I took that risk and then I just jumped on any opportunity that came, because any opportunity that came was better than being in the room with someone who's going to abuse and belittle me. So thank you all. I love you all. Farida saying hello and goodbye. That's his cue that I need to go so we can have dinner together. Farid, you didn't put the Khalil Gibran book in there. I think is that it? Wait, I might have it. Sorry, Farid, you're going to have to wait. Hi, George. Rush, rush, rush. Okay, love, 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 love. I sent this to my husband in 1991. Maybe it's not in here. No, I've got E. Cummings, Robert Burns, Shelley, Symptoms of Love. It's not going to be in here. I have another book just dedicated to have a feather in there. To Khalil Gibran. All right. Farid, if you find it, will you put it, or we'll put it on my James Joyce? We'll put it on my Facebook, on my Ask Gina page. Okay. So you all can see the poem. All right. Thank you so much. God bless you. I hope you enjoyed it. You knew people that I haven't met. Hi, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Those of you who, lots of people that I missed, I'm going to keep posting on my page that we're now going live Wednesday nights, not Thursdays. And bye, Nancy. Thanks for coming. Thank you, George. And I will jump on during the week randomly to go live. I'm not going to guarantee it's Tuesday, but it could be. All right. Send questions on Messenger. Tell me topics you want to hear. Don't forget, that's what I'm here to do. I'm trying to be of service. Thank you, Donna. Thank